All right, so the first person on the list is Tracy um, Hawkins. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Okay, great. And Tracy, I think you requested 10 minutes and you have 8 other folks with you who are giving up their time.
Yes.
Is that correct? Could I
Yes.
ask the folks who are giving up their time to please raise your hand? Okay, great.
Okay. Is this working?
Yes,
Okay.
yes it is.
I'm not used to talking in a microphone. Good evening, everyone. We are here this evening to oppose the decision to close French Broad Outfitters at Hominy Creek. Our Change.org petition to save FBO at Hominy Creek has garnered nearly 1,900 signatures since it began circulating on July 1st. We have a lot of supporters here today. I'd like them to raise their hands. And we have overflow in the other room. FBO at Hominy Creek is a cherished community hub at the confluence of Hominy Creek and the French Broad River. Locals and tourists gather there for outdoor recreation and family-friendly fun. FBO has a clean beach, beverage center, food truck, live music, disc golf, and a welcoming space for dogs and children to play. For cyclists, it's a destination on the Greenway. Last year, FBO at Hominy Creek launched 12,000 locals and tourists down the river, providing income for Buncombe County and the city of Asheville, while also paying for the upkeep, improvements, and security of this 1-acre property, which lies in a floodway. They employ about 32 people during their 6-month summer operations and pay rent to Buncombe County for 12 months each year, although they are only allowed to operate for 6. FBO has been investing in and maintaining Hominy Creek since 2016. Before then, Danny Rice owned a sand dredging business that operated there. He described the area at that time as sketchy, a meeting ground for drug users and other lewd and illicit activity. After the sand dredging business closed and FBO became the occupant of this 1-acre plot, they revitalized the property to ensure it is safe, open to the public, and accessible to all. The public responded by organically creating a favorite community destination placed in nature that brings respite and joy to a diverse mix of people, families, and dogs. So, what's the problem? In January, Buncombe County advised FBO that they are not permitted to renew their license, permanently closing FBO at Hominy Creek at the end of the 2024 season. A conservation easement granted to Riverlink in 2006 for 12 acres and encompassing the 1 acre under FBO's management had gone unnoticed and unadministered for nearly 18 years. Suddenly rediscovered by Riverlink in 2021, they notified the county of its violation and obligation to ensure the 12-acre property remains as a recreational, scenic, and open space area, and commercial activities are prohibited. However, FBO at Hominy Creek is already providing a recreational, scenic, and open space and operates in compliance with the conservation easement with one exception: the presence of commercial activity. If FBO is forced to close, the burden of upkeep will transfer to the taxpayers, the same taxpayers who are being deprived of their beloved community and recreational spot. It is naive to think no commercial activity will occur there after FBO is shuttered. Unreported cash transactions occur every day outside the gates of FBO for the exact services they provide, record, and report. How will this activity be stymied, especially if you are closing a small business due to commercial activity? Furthermore, will Buncombe County ensure the new expanded use of Hominy Park is secured from the previously mentioned sketchy behavior that will certainly find its way there? Already, houseless people living in their vehicles line the road leading up to the park. It is FBO's very presence and stewardship of this 1-acre haven that keeps the park safer for all of us. We say no to closing FBO. FBO at Hominy Creek is a rare asset to our community. It's a perfect companion to the Hominy Creek Greenway and cannot be replicated under the conservation easement. We emailed each commissioner voicing our concerns. Today, we are publicly requesting meetings to hear the voices of the taxpaying citizens of Buncombe County who clearly want FBO at Hominy Creek to remain as it is. We want a solution that preserves this invaluable community asset that brings joy, recreation, and conservation stewardship to Asheville and Buncombe County. Save FBO at Hominy Creek and come out to experience the magic for yourselves. Okay, I can turn over my time or questions. I don't know how it goes from here.
Well, thank you for coming out and speaking on this item. So we don't typically get in kind of an active conversation about public issues during the public comment. This is sort of a chance for citizens to talk to the commission, and so we're here to listen. But thank you for taking time to come speak. I will just make one comment. So just for additional folks that will speak, we do ask that folks not give praise or condemnation to or feedback to the people who speak. We don't want people to applaud or boo or anything like that. So we just want each person to be able to say what they're here to say without kind of real-time feedback from the other folks in the commission chambers. But thank you for coming out. The next person on the list is Dylan Simpson.
Good afternoon, guys. Just gonna keep it brief. I'm an employee with French Broad Outfitters. I spend probably the most time there than a lot of people. I spend most of my afternoons interacting with local tourists, or tourists and locals alike. I also spend a majority of my day picking up trash all over the property, including outside of our grounds along Hominy Creek Road. If you ever have been there and been inside of the property, it's a lovely place to be. I'm really intentional about keeping trash out of there, and people, guests that come there, they also pick up trash. I receive trash bags every single day coming from the end of the road. And as soon as you leave our gates, there's the public transfer station. There's trash along the entire road. And as soon as you come into our gates or around the Hominy Creek Park, a lot of that trash is picked up by people in the community or myself. It'd be a shame to have that problem continue without us being there to help the community out. I was outside of the gates today and came across some people with tents set up outside of the gates, and on the sign it said, "Anybody that comes near here will be shot with a crossbow." So I took it to the trash, and notified authorities of that person's presence there. But things like that are a common occurrence outside of our gates, and we do have intention to push people out of there, but that's public property. So within our gates, we try and keep our guests safe and happy. I don't have much more to say. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dylan. Okay, next is Roberta Sinel.
Hi, my name is Roberta Sinnell, and I've lived in Asheville for 5 years. And FBO is my favorite place for outdoor fun and socializing. I am devastated just by thinking it may no longer be available. I'd like to point out that Asheville's population has been steadily growing, showing an increase of nearly 14% between 2010 and 2020, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. More than ever, public recreational spaces are vital to balancing urban growth and the well-being of the inhabitants. FBO at Hominy Creek, with its access to water sports and diverse recreational activities, plays a pivotal role in fostering health and community spirit in Asheville. Here's what some other people had to say in the comment petition section, and I encourage you to go online and read them for yourself. They're very moving. Benjamin White says, FBO at Hominy Creek is a special and essential part of our culture in Asheville, a source of community and music and joy. Glenn Miska says, there can't possibly be a better use for this space. FBO on Hominy is a community treasure. Kristen Gall says, this is my favorite spot in the summer. I am handicapped and I can park close and sit by the water and watch my dog play. Whoops, sorry. Someone else says, I frequent this spot. Members of the Western North Carolina Disc Golf Association have curated the best night of the week for us to gather and compete together. It would be heartbreaking to lose this venue. Tesla Jameson, so many great spots are disappearing. Asheville is losing as much of what draws so many people here. I sure wish and hope for a solution that allows FBO to continue. Just a couple more. Jacqueline Hammond says, I used to work here and my husband's funeral and celebration of life was here. The place is sacred and needs to be preserved as a place for locals by locals. And finally, FBO is the last great place in Asheville. Changing it would be a travesty. Thank you.
All right. Nick Rutherford.
Thank you for your time. I'm Nick Rutherford. Adding to the chorus of these fine people, but from a slightly different angle. I've been in Nashville since 2020, and I'm an avid cyclist. I live kind of near Carrier Park, and the reason I chose that area was because the Greenway had just gotten built, and I thought it was a great way to go, travel through the city. I actually discovered French Broad Outfitters doing a group bike ride on the Greenway, just kind of happened to cross it. One of my concerns, though, is when you add in the I-26 connector project that is forcing other places to close, such as Salvage Station and more, it's starting to get to the point where if FBO closes, a lot of those destinations that you would want to cycle on the Greenway or be by the river just simply won't be there anymore. I think because of the way that FBO is set up with that little bit of like a gate in the area, it's better than any public dog park in town for a place to bring your dog and hang out, especially in the heat like this. There's access to shade, there's access to water. If you go to the dog park in West Asheville, it's like Africa. So yeah, I know if FBO closes that the park would probably still be open. But I know I've already seen a lot of other commercial activity, like unlicensed rafting, companies operating. I doubt most of those people are paying taxes on it, whereas French Broad Outfitters is paying tax on the land as well as paying a considerable amount of money to upkeep it, especially after floods occur. So if we lose it, we're going to lose, the amenities we already have now, and it'll be worse than it is now, but it'll come at, a much higher cost to all of us people, which kind of seems like a losing situation to me. Like they said, we started a petition a couple weeks ago, and it's all been really word of mouth. There's about 2,000 signatures, which is, a little over 2% of what the population of Asheville would be. I haven't met a single person that has a bad thing to say about it, and we're expecting thousands of more signatures over the next several weeks as well, as we continue to get the word out. I truly believe that the community really wants to keep this place, and that's all I got. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.